Alright, so these are some pieces of music that I generated using a free and open source AI model called AsapGuide 1.5. Let me show you some examples.
Where me and you would spend weekends. Take me back to those simple days where the world moved slow in golden haze.
Okay, that's pretty good. How about this one?
I'm falling, falling into your arms. You're calling, calling straight to my heart. This feeling's everything I need.
And the model is also able to generate an instrumental song. This is one example. Okay, that's quite decent. Now, there are some good reasons why you might want to use the model AsapGuide 1.5 to generate music. First, the model is actually quite lightweight. It is very hardware friendly. You can run with just less than 4 gigabytes of video memory. So that's very lightweight. Secondly, the model is basically commercial ready. The model was trained from licensed data or royalty-free or no copyright data. That means you can use the song or music from AsapGuide 1.5 on your product marketing, your corporate training video. You can also upload the video to YouTube without worry about copyright infringement because again, it was trained from royalty-free data. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can run this model locally on your computer, and there are actually many ways you can do it. One popular way is by using Comfy UI, but I think this interface is not exactly easy to learn. I think this is just too complicated for most people. So instead, I do recommend to use 12GP via the installation method of Stability Matrix. This is basically one-click install, and I think this is the simplest way you can run AsapGuide 1.5 locally on your computer. Let me show you how. So you need to open Google and search for Stability Matrix, and you can open the result from GitHub. And after that, you need to scroll down a bit, and you need to download the setup file for either Windows, Linux, or macOS depending on your system. And after that, you can run the setup file. Let me show you the onboarding process. So basically, the process look like this. You can choose to use or not use the portable mode. By default, it is going to be using portable mode, and I think it is more logical because everything will be stored within that directory. It just makes the file organization to be a lot simpler and easier. Now you can click continue. You can choose to share or not share data. This is completely optional. I'm going to click this, and you can skip the first time setup. Okay, right here in the packages menu, you can click this button and you can scroll down and find a tool called 12GP. So this is the one. This is available for both NVIDIA and AMD. And then you can click the install button. So this is the same thing as this one in the GitHub page, but with Stability Matrix, the process of installation becoming a lot simpler because again, it is just one-click install. After you have clicked the install button, it will just install everything into the directory, and after that, you can start running the tool and run the AI model. Now I'm going to open the version where I have the 12GP installed. Let me just open that on my PC. And after that, you can navigate to the packages menu and click the launch button for 12GP. Okay, just wait for, I guess, 20 seconds for the model, not the model, there is no model yet, for the tool to be initialized. And after that, it's going to create an environment and you can open the tool 12GP via browser. Now, this is the link, just click it. And this is the web interface of 1GP or 12GP. So to use AsapGuide, you need to click this button. Actually, not a button, it was a menu. Click TTS and then select AsapGuide 1.5 Turbo 2B. There is also the other version, which is the previous version, but some says that the newer version is a lot better than the previous one. So I'll stick with that. and right here you can choose the variant. So right here, I think the 0.6B is the version that only consumes like less than 4 gigabytes of video memory. So if you're not quite sure if your computer can run the model, then just go with the smallest version. But in this case, I'm going to use LM4B, and from experience, it is only using between 5 to 6 gigabytes of video memory, and sometimes 8 depending on the complexity or the length of the audio. But usually it is also very hardware friendly. Now, after that, you can enter the lyric down here. Let me just insert mine. So this is my lyric, and I do recommend to include the marker like this. And for the genres or tags, you can insert something that looks like this. This is just sort of info that can be used for AI to guide the genre of the music. You can select the duration for the song. I think I'll stick with 60 seconds. And after that, just click generate. So basically, when you're doing this for the first time, the AI chip will detect if you have the model. If you don't, then it will instantly download the model. So it will take some time. The size is several gigabytes. I don't remember exactly because this version in 1GP is slightly different than the version that was available in Hugging Face. But I think it is a bit smaller. And also, basically you can use the model to generate song or just generate an instrumental. I'm going to talk about the instrumental later, but for now let's just generate the song. Okay, it is also very fast, by the way. It will take only maybe 1 minute for me to generate this piece of music. So it's almost there. There's one more step after this. Okay, it is denoising, 8 steps. Okay, so there is one issue of 12GP on my computer. It is not able to show the preview right here. That's very unfortunate, but at least I got the audio. It is just downloaded automatically into my computer. This is the audio. Okay, so that's one thing that I noticed several times on the model. It is often just repeating the same rhythm over and over again. It is quite noticeable. This is not always happen. It's just not consistent, I guess. So yeah, that's actually one thing that I noticed when I'm generating some music using this model. Let me try it again, maybe using a different lyric. How about perhaps this one? And I'm going to use this. Okay, so sometimes you can get the result that's kinda repetitive, but you can always click the generate button again to get another variation. So that's the nature of working with AI. Sometimes it can generate some good piece of music, but other times you don't want to hear it. So now I'm using a different lyric with different tags, and hopefully I can get something that is a bit more enjoyable. And then later I'm going to use a prompt for generating instrumental because that one is a little different. Alright, so okay, it's almost there. Okay, I'm going to preview the audio.
Drop the bass, let it go. Feel the energy flow. Lights are flashing, feeling sure.
Okay, yeah, that is another issue that I noticed. The first few seconds, there is no audio whatsoever. It can happen, but maybe there are few settings that we can modify. So I'm going to try it one more time, and hopefully this one will work. All right, so I'll use the previous lyric. Okay, maybe this one. Oh, not that one. Okay, this one. So I'll use that. And I'm going to increase the length of the audio to 80 seconds. Usually when you are generating music with 60 seconds, stuff like that can happen. So I do recommend to increase it to 80, 100, or maybe 120 minimum to at least give some breathing room to AI to actually insert everything, every single word in the lyric into the audio. Because when it is too short, then yeah, some artifacts or weird things like that can happen. But hopefully the fact that I just increased the duration of the audio will improve the quality of the output. Okay, this is generating my third attempt, and after that we are going to try the instrumental prompt. It's almost there. It's a bit slower, at least for my computer, because I'm using mid-range GPU, but if you're using like high-end GPU like 5070 or 5080, it's going to be a bit faster. All right, let's try this one. Okay, that's pretty good. So basically, one thing that I learned from using this tool is that it can be a little bit inconsistent, and you have to be mindful with the duration, because sometimes this tiny setting could really affect the quality of the audio. Now, I'm going to try the prompt for instrumental. This one is a bit different, and honestly, I haven't found one format that works quite consistently on this tool. So let me try this one. Okay, I'm going to just put it here, and okay, there you go. Generate, and just wait. So hopefully I can get something that is beautiful from this prompt and from this setting. All right, just wait for it. So previously I actually have talked about an AI model called Hartmula. Hartmula is another version. It is a bit bigger, and in my opinion, it is better than AsapGuide, but it is also demanding more memory when generating audio. And maybe one thing that Hartmula cannot do, at least during my testing, was I cannot generate instrumental, where in AsapGuide, even though it is not quite perfect, at least it is able to generate some instrumental audio that maybe you can use for the background music for your video content. That is actually very useful if you are a marketer or creator. All right, there you go. I'm going to play that on this new window. Alright, that's pretty close. That's not exactly what I would imagine, but I think some elements, some instruments are present in the audio. I heard some piano, saxophone, and the upbeat is quite there. So yeah, at least it is able to generate some instrumental song. Now perhaps one downside of using 12GP is that this tool is designed to generate images, videos, and of course audios, and that's why not all controls for the model is present in this tool. That's very unfortunate. That's why this is not the most powerful tool, but at least it is a lot easier compared to other tools. So that's basically how you can install AsapGuide 1.5 easily on your computer. And by the way, when you're done, don't forget to click the stop button to stop the server, and then you can close the program. So that's basically it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.